Welcome back to part 3 with me, Jeff Ollerhead and Paul Tremarco. So he's in the Arkles. This is the 90s, so take it from there. You're in the Arkles as a barman or a manager.
No, in 1990, the first time I went back to first time I managed the Arkles. We just won the league. So that following season, Dalglish leaves. It was completely different then than it is now, because at the end of the day, we used to have all the young players coming through. Jamie Redknapp lived around the corner, Don Hutchinson, Stevie McMahon, we knew Steve, I knew Sammy Lee and I knew Phil Thompson. They were the managers. And when the kids finished, when they finished playing, they'd all come in the pub, like Marsh, David, they'd all come in the pub.
So you're sitting at your manager, and just out the blue.
Sammy Lee phoned me, the lads in.
Yeah.
Can we each have the drink tonight? I said, yeah, come on, come over. So the lads would just all roll in. There'd be about 10, 12 of them, whatever it was. Sometimes it'd be 6, sometimes it could be 15. But we put them in the back. It was a different pub that we put them in there. And I got to know them because they were only kids.
Yeah.
Redknapp, they had none were in the first team. They were really, really nice. Donald Hutchinson was a fabulous lad.
Polite, yeah.
Polite,
yeah.
You know,
Respect.
Jamie Kelly, Jamie Kelly never came in, it was before his time. But Jamie Redknapp, he was living there, he was coming back. They were all young lads, all in brand new cars then. There was not fantastic cars then. I think Jamie has a brand new red Orion. I always remember them. He'd always pop in and say hello to me. I got to know Jamie quite well. I got to know Don Hutchinson very, very well. He was great. There was loads of other players that came. I knew Steve McMahon because his cousin was married to me stepson. So I knew that I had a basis, and Steve would come over. If there was some Norwegians, he'd come over and have a chat with them after training. They'd come in now and again. But Liverpool were going through a bad period. The league had gone. Souness came in. The difference of the fans coming in, they were fighting and arguing with each other. They were angry. Yeah. It was really, really different. We used to have all the away supporters coming in, and it was known for being an away pub. We used to, the fans were different then. It was completely different time. I can't describe it. Then it was a working class sport, and they were working class men. Today, it's still a working class sport, but it's run by hierarchy. Corporate. It's a different clientele now. So people, the fans are a lot different. There's no violence between them. There's no animosity before a game. So going from that, so remember when we left, we got promoted, we went to the second. I left it behind me, and you know what? I was glad I left it because it wasn't nice.
It was going nasty, right?
It wasn't nice.
So
it was huge. The last match was I remember that in the 90s. The last match, Tottenham were outside. And they were coming. They'd just been down to the King Gary. They'd wrecked the King Gary. There was 200 coming up to the pub. They were doing my pub, and then the police had to come out. And there's 200 fans want to cause murder, and I'm thinking to myself, I really don't need this. This is too nasty for me. Fortunately enough, the Guardian Angel, they brought 2 buses. The police got them on. They got them away. They went, and we don't have that problem now. The best thing about the away fans now, they phone up, they'll come in, they mix with the Liverpool fans. I don't let the fans come in. I only let the fans in before the game. I don't let them, if the game's on the television, I don't let them in during the game, and they never come in afterwards. Occasionally, friends who have made friends.
Who's away fans?
I've made friends with away fans. I've got some great friends who are West Ham fans. I've got some friends who are Spurs fans. Some other friends from Newcastle. They'll say, Paul, we all right for a drink when we come back because we're not getting our bus. And I said, yeah, come in, no problems. We don't sing and don't must they, because at the end of the game it's just full of Liverpool fans. Full. We don't need anybody antagonising us. So that works. That really works. For me, it works. So in the match day, it's really busy. It's shocking.
Capacity, say about 300 people or
over 300 people in. For four, with probably about 2,000 people coming in and coming out. But in one step, you've got about 300 people. You've got people in the back. You've got people in the front, and they're all having a great time. And my philosophy is, I'm a football fan. no use having football fans in the ground and telling them they can't sing in the pub. If they want to sing, they can sing. I don't take kindly to them singing all the crap about, you know, Scousers and everything else and all that, we pay you better. That goes on. I asked them politely not to do that. I look at them and tell them, and they will stop. Some of them won't. But no, nine times out of 10, they are really, really respectful. Got some great stories. You know what I mean? The biggest fans that come to the pub home and away are Villa.
Yeah.
But they've been in the second division. They only came up last season, but because of COVID, we couldn't have them. But the fans are taking over that at Tottenham. They bring a massive following, whether it's at Everton or Liverpool. Yeah. They all come down. The Arsenal fans are great. The West Ham fans are fantastic. They're just like Northern. They're just like Southern Scousers. They really, really work just like us. Yeah. Probably with a bit more money. Great stories about that. I only made a story about one Tottenham fan. Yeah. And I'm like, there's a guy.
Just pre-match.
On a match. Yeah. They're all singing it just before the kick off. There's a guy banging on the ceiling, and I'm thinking, what's he standing? Get him off. What's he doing there, standing on the chair? So I runs behind the bar, runs over to him, and I said, hey, get off that. And I looked at him, the bottom of his feet, and I looked at him, and as the further I went up. The further I went up, I went, oh my God, he must have been 7 foot. Yeah. He was banging on the ceiling, and I'm like up to ear on him. Hey, I'm about to tell him to get off the chair, and he went, he's banging on the ceiling because he's standing there, and I went, I walked away. He went, and be honest with you, he comes every match with the Tottenham, and he's a really nice lad.
Unless he's sitting next to behind him in the game.
But you see, he's a really, really nice guy. I once went to Highbury to see at Liverpool and Arsenal.
Oh, you made friends.
I'm walking down, and I'm walking down to the ground, and I'm walking down. I don't know no one in Highbury in London. To the Emirates. Don't know anybody. I'm walking down. He's walking down the street because he lived by there. And he went, all right, mate, you know, his Cockney accent, all right, geezer. So I went, you know what I mean? And it was brilliant. Yeah. And and most of the fans, well, I'd say I love the fans.
Yeah, because football.
Just make them, because I'm a fan and I know what they want. And they come out, and the times the guys go to the game, and I'd say to him, thanks very much, lads, they're going out. You know, obviously for the police doing all that, you know, then during or afterwards, that's by police order, but it's been a great time. And don't forget, if you go to Everton's game, this is your local, come here, get your bus there and walk over here, there'll be a warm welcome for you. It works. Newcastle fans, you know, the police will turn around, might turn around and say, I liaise with the police, they'll turn around and say to me, do you want this or do you want that? Don't be careful, these people are coming down here, we know these people are coming down here. There's certain fans coming, there's 2 coast loads of fans coming down from Glasgow. There's such and such a fans, keep an eye on them. So then I'd say to them, be careful, and they come and then they'd roll in, so they're all in, and you see them, and all they're doing is having a great time, having a few bevies, going to the match. They don't want no trouble, but you're being told, so you're aware of them, and I'm aware of them, and they're being really, really good. They'll always introduce themselves to you. But the Newcastle fans, they'll say, some of the ones, the younger fans now, they get a little bit boisterous, they get a little bit, cocky, whatever. And you've got to get the older ones to bring them down. But in Newcastle, this is a true story. A few years ago, there was 2 Newcastle fans. One was called John Alder, and the other one was called Liam Sweeney. They were going to watch Newcastle. They were the only 2 fans going to watch Newcastle in New Zealand. And I don't really hear about it, but the Russians blew this plane out of the sky, and they were on the plane, these 2 lads. They were 2 Newcastle fans, right? And I always remember, it was funny because the message that went out, 2 football fans had been killed in a plane going to
New Zealand,
Australia, New Zealand. They didn't weren't quite sure where it was at that time. Yeah. And I was travelling with my son to Brisbane that day with my son. And my ex-wife is terrified because 2 English people have been killed in this plane crash, and she thought it could have been me. I didn't know about it because I was away in Australia. She didn't know where I was going, but she knew it was in that direction. and the guys, you know, and it brought something home to me, and it was that 20th anniversary of Hillsborough that year, and they were coming the day before Hillsborough. It was that game. So I said, you know what, I've got to remember these kids, got to remember these two lads. So I had posters made, professional done, with their name, rest in peace. You were now in heaven with our 96 heroes, with Liverpool and Newcastle badge, you'll never walk alone. And I put them in the windows, put them around the pub, to let the Newcastle fans know that as long as I was in that pub, I had it was my feelings that they should never be forgotten. So I got on the mic and I said to them, listen, as long as I'm in this pub, I'll always remember them two lads, whether it be you go to Everton or whether you go to Liverpool. Because, you know, there were two guys that were going to watch their team and never come home. We had 96 of them in Hillsborough. That never died 20 years ago, the day I was there. I said, so now is the time for us to remember.
Respect, man.
Minute silence, and we did a toast. Next minute, they all start singing, the Newcastle fans start singing You Never Walk Alone. Brought tears to my eyes, and ever since, I've had the dad of the guy, both parents have been in touch with me and to thank me. I've never had any press on it, because I didn't do it for press. I did it because of my total respect for two guys who went to a football match and never came home. And these two guys went everywhere to see them. They went everywhere to see them. And I said, as long as them guys should always be remembered by that club. Should be apparently there's a memorial garden for them now. But the parents and the father, last summer, before COVID, this guy comes in. He went, I just want to come in and shake your hand. And I went, Joy lads, why? He said, because I'm John Alder's dad. He said, and everyone talks about coming to the Arkles to see you and to see the pub because of what you've done. He said, and I just want to personally thank you. And I went, wow, you're joking, aren't you? And he said, no. And he just said, because what you've done is great. And it was just a thing for me. It's just a thing for me that makes me feel better. And of course, it makes the Newcastle fans feel as though they're part of the pub.
That's it. But you bring in, see that sort of thing. You do what you do then. They respect it when they come down. Fans, you'll get the odd one.
Oh yeah.
But the whole atmosphere changes for all action, which is fantastic. Just quickly moving on, that was brilliant. Do you know what? Obviously, with what's going on now, I mean, you're not telling too much, but the TV work, because with the stories and what you're going through. When this coming out, when did you start to come as an interview here and stuff?
I've always had, there's always been TV crews around and about, and I'm, you know, everyone, the biggest cliche for Tremarco, if there's a camera, you'll see Paul in front of it. I don't know, but it just seems, I just feel comfortable sitting in front of the camera. In the early days, I did about half a dozen shows in 2011 on a show for Liverpool LFC TV called Cop Talk. Okay. And it was cop fans were talking. We'd sit around the table like this, talking about the game and what was coming up. So I did that, and then we get Sky coming in and wanting an interview. Yeah. If there was a European match on, you get the European channels coming in. Once the once the live link up, we did it when Liverpool played Dortmund. When Klopp, first game of Klopp came back, we had a fella come in with who was an impersonator of Klopp. Yeah. He come behind the bar and he looked so much like him, laughing and joking. They did a recording of him behind the bar. They filmed it all. It was brilliant. We had such a really good time. Done that. I've done documentaries.
So it's all documented on the.
It's all documented. Yeah. I've been part of Mo Salah. I've done a lot of TV work that doesn't get seen in the UK, gets seen worldwide on Premier League TV. A friend of mine who works for them, Simon, he asked me, could we use the pub? And I went, I'll be made up. They do a lot of interviews in the pub, and they want to interview me. I went to World Club Championship last season, and we played a team called Monterrey from Newcastle, from Mexico, we said, I got this camera crew come in, the pub's chocker.
Yeah.
This camera crew comes through, he said, we've been told you went to the World Club Shoot and you played against Monterey. We're from Monterey TV, we're doing a programme on the game. Would you be interested in doing an interview with us? You know, yeah, and they were tagging me about Monterey. I didn't know much about Monterey. What was the game like?
Canada, yeah.
What were the fans like? How did it go?
Yeah.
And it was good because it's just something I really feel comfortable doing. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking about my football. Probably the only thing I can talk about. It's the only thing you stop me to. I don't have much to say about anything else. But in front of a camera, it just seems to come out. It just seems to come out to me. So I do enjoy that. I've been on a TV show called The Fanatics, where it was on Sky. It was I got asked if I want to go on it, and it was a program where we were asked if you're a fanatic at one particular subject, me being a Liverpool fan, so I'd go as a Liverpool fan, so I'd be a fanatic about Liverpool, asking questions, get asked questions in rounds. Then there was someone maybe who's a fanatic on roller coasters. Then there was someone who might be a fanatic on Disney World. Must be a fanatic on Game of Thrones. Could be anything.
Did you get anything wrong?
So I went on, and my three people, there's three of us, got filmed. We filmed. Really went to Manchester, did the show, did an audition. Said, "You're perfect for it." And we're going to give you the top prize. The top prize was going to be, we're going to pay for your 2 season tickets for next season for you and your brother.
Yeah.
You and your son. So if you won.
Okay.
So my 2 people. I'm talking about Liverpool, right? 125 years.
Yeah.
127 years of history. So I could get an answer question. So I'm studying books. I've read all. I'm reading all kinds. It's all that. The 2 people I'm with, one is a fanatic on roller coasters. Now, he said there's only about 14 roller coaster places in the whole of Europe, and he'd been to every single one of them. He knew everything about roller coasters, So that was his. And the other one, another girl was on, and her top subject was Game of Thrones. Right. So here's me in between them 2. He's on roller coasters. He's been to every single roller coaster that there is in the world, in Europe.
Those are like rungs.
He knows every colour, paint and everything. And she's on this show called Game of Thrones. Now I don't know what Game of Thrones is. I don't know nothing about them, but I know a little bit about Liverpool, but not 125 years. So I'm thinking, I'm in here. I'm out of this, because they're going to get every answer right, and I might get a third. As it was, I got beat. I knew I wouldn't win. I got beat by. I got the same amount of points as the girl with the Game of Thrones. But the guy who won it,
the
roller coaster ride, he won it by 2 points, because I think I got 15 questions right. He got 17 and she got 16. Right. But I thought my mates, he said the show. They're all watching it. We all filled it up. Yeah. And what I used to do on a match day, I'd stick it on record. On the record, stick it on the telly, and it'd be on the television. And as they're watching it on the telly, they're going,
"It's in there."
Yeah. That's great. You did? Well, no. Bloody hell! I've never seen that. Where did that come from? Hey, but I used to do that.
You love it, yeah.
I'd talk and stick it on. No, it was dead. I'd stick it on and go like that, and you could see them talking. He's over there. So I'd say, oh my,
Just a little bit of that, it's a great bit of banter.
But it was great publicity. Yeah. So that's why I decided I wanted the pub to be called the World Famous Arkles. Anyone talks to me now, Gary will tell you straight. He'll go, if he goes to me, we're going to the Arkles, and I'd say, what do I say? No chance. We're going to the World Famous Arkles. WFA. And he go, what the bloody hell is WFA? The World Famous Arkles. And that's what I do now. Even my bosses.
I believe you sing as well, don't you?
I've done a little bit of singing. I've done a little bit of singing, right? When I first started, when I went back to pub, we was driving business. What we did is we had I had a karaoke, started karaoke, and we called together a line on it, we called it The Arkles Have Got Talent. So it got quite successful, and on the advert it would say, come in and you might hear Paul sing a song from his album. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm quite a karaoke guy. I love to get up and sing. I'm not that good, but I like to give a song. I do a bit of swing, but I'm not rubbish, but I'm not fantastic. But I can give a song.
I've heard you, you're pretty good.
So
yeah.
I'm not. So everyone kept on saying, "Where's this album, Paul? Where's this album?" I haven't done no album. I don't know no album. What have I got an album for? Well, anyway, mates of mine said to me, Paul, we can get a studio. You get a studio. You can do some songs, and we'll make come. He said, I'll come and take some photographs of you. We'll put it out, put it in a case. I knew where they could get the cases. I knew where they could get the CDs made. So I said, and what we can do, we can sell them and give the money to the Jamie Carragher Foundation, which was my nominated charity at the time, Jamie Carragher and Marie Curie. So I said, well, that sounds a good idea. So we did. We got 1,000 made. We sold them.
Have you still on sale now on the Arkles?
No. I don't. I think they've all gone. I haven't even gone. I've got a copy of the outside of it, but not actually the CD. I haven't got that CD. I don't know where they are now. But they'll be out there somewhere. Because believe me, they went everywhere. My mate at the time, Mike Lepic, he worked in the foundation. Jim Gavin sent them all away. We used to send them all. They were, anyone who come in the pub, I'd sell them. Yeah. I'd sell them to them. Everyone who come in, I'd say, do you want to buy help and take it back with you? And they went everywhere. China, they went to Hong Kong, they went to Australia, New Zealand, all over America, everywhere. And then, about 3-4 years later, my boss says to me, Paul, I've got a great idea. We're looking for a gimmick to raise some more extra money for Macmillan at this time. Macmillan Cancer Charity. I want you to do a Christmas album. Excuse me, I want a Christmas album. I want to do a Christmas album. He said, yeah, studio's booked, you're going in. So I went, okay, no problems. So goes down there, gets me gear, gets me Christmas jumper on. We make some photographs outside the pub. We go down. Now at this time, I wake up, I've got a sore throat. I can't hardly, I'm croaking. But this is paid for and I've got to go. So anyway, go do the Christmas album, right? And you know what? The album itself looked great. I've still got a couple of copies left. And people, I think they literally went everywhere. I think we did about 5,000 copies. And
all went to charity.
Everything went. I think we raised about 5 grand, 5-6 grand for Macmillan, for Green King. It went that well. And my mate John would say to me, who's a blue, he'd turn around and say to me, things you never hear people say. Go on put Paul's CD on. But I get people telling me, Christmas, he said, I've just got a mate of mine from Sunderland, Brian, he said to me, he texted me on Christmas Day, and he said, have a guess what we're listening to? A photograph of my album, he said, we're having our Christmas dinner and you're in the background. Yeah. And I went, he said, and you know what, Paul, it's such fun because we know who you are. I said, and I'm thinking, I'm embarrassed.
X Factor next for Paul.
No, not like that. But it was all good, and it was done for the right reasons. Yeah. Not for me. It was done to raise money for charity.
That's the man.
Something I really enjoyed doing, by the way, Chef. Yeah. Gary, I really enjoyed doing that.
Well, thank you very much. Stand by for the one and only part 5. Thank you very much, Paul. Take care. What's your part 4?